What kind of panties are you wearing today? Hey, you wearing? You wearing your white panties here? You wearing your white panties here? And Mrs. You wearing your white panties? Are you wearing your black lace panties? Oh. You know when you freak yourself out, it's time to stop. Oh, it's so funny, isn't it? He's so funny, that Triple T. Okay. Christ, what was I going to talk about? Fuck. Damn, it was something. It was something sexual related, which made me think about that. I can't believe I'm starting a bleeding podcast, and I don't even know what the fucking podcast is about. This is the problem, man. This is why nobody watches your podcast. You just babble about nothing and you drink fucking Diet Cokes and La Croix. You know what I mean? No wonder nobody's watching your podcast. Oh, man, I literally forgot what my podcast is going to be about. Okay, it wasn't going to be about that. It wasn't going to be about that. Oh, shy. Oh, man. What did you want to talk about? I guess I could edit this if I remember it. But, what's it? Oh, yes! I remember. Okay. So this happened to me about a year ago, okay? And I go to this store called Publix, okay? And every time I go to this store, weird shit happens. I don't know if other people out there have the same experience with Publix, but every time I go to this store, weird shit happens, okay? So I went over and I went to the bread section where they do the fresh baked bread. And there's an old lady standing there and she's looking at the bread. She's looking at this bread. She's looking at that bread. She's looking at this bread. She's looking at that bread. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what I mean? I'll walk back over here a little bit, look at some other stuff, you know? Because I don't want to, she's in the way. I can't reach by her. She's in the way, you know? And something told me she was going to be problematic anyway. So I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that, and I said, fuck it, man, I've been here for 5 minutes and she's still looking at bread. So I went by the bread and I reached just over her, like just to kind of, just to get the bread, and she went, oh. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this old lady? This is a true story, okay? She's like, excuse me, she's like, excuse. I'm like, I'm staring at her. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this daft cunt? What the fuck, man? She's like, excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I'm like, are you on fucking drugs or what? What is going on with you? You know what I mean? And suddenly she's doing it so loud, right? The managers start looking out of their office. They're going, what's wrong? You know? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because the managers of this store always follow me around. I don't know why. So they're all like, what's going on? It's this guy. Yeah, they follow me around. I have no reason. I have no idea why. So she's like, excuse me. And I literally was like, okay, you've been doing this for like 3 minutes. Are you okay? Are you like having a stroke or something? What the fuck is wrong with you daft bitch? She's like, excuse, and everybody starts looking at me. I'm like, bitch, I just want fucking bread, okay? I just want bread. And the whole fucking store is starting to look at me now, you know? I'm like, I'm sorry, I got bread, you know? And she's like, I'm like, are you fucking alright, you fucking bitch? She's going off like I'm like, I'm sorry, dear, I just want to reach over and get some bread. And she's having a fucking heart attack. And the managers start walking towards me, and all the people from the deli are looking, and they're going like that. And I'm like, and they're staring at me. I'm like, what? Like, what? You gonna call the FBI because I reached for some fucking bread? And the woman's like, oh. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you daft fucking bitch. I just want a fucking baguette. What is your fucking deal, you know? And I'm like, sorry, just I want a baguette. I had to walk away, you know? And she's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. You know? I mean, yeah, I had to reach through her legs and maybe my hand touched off her vagina a little bit. But that's the only way I could get the bread. There was no other way to get the bread, you know? And I was very quick about it too. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's not like I did it slow. I just went through her legs and got the bread and came back out again. Oh, I mean, you know what I mean? You think you'd be grateful at that age for a little bit of a thrill. Why is she going crazy, you know? And she's like holding her vagina and like, oh my God. I'm like, damn, man, if anything, I should, you know. I don't know why people act the way they do, man. It's just crazy, man. Just fucking crazy. This store that I go to, every time I go in, man, they have staff follow me around. They have staff follow me around. And I have no idea why. What is their fucking deal, man? They follow me everywhere, you know? They follow me fucking everywhere. Listen to me. If you're that old lady out there and you're watching the Triple D podcast, hey, we had a moment, me and you. You know we did. Sweetie, you can fight it all you want. You can act all hurt and distressed, but you know, deep down, you know you liked it. Mm-hmm. My warm hand. That's kind of, you know what, man? If more than 2 people watch my podcast, I think I'd be canceled for that. Obviously, I didn't reach through an old lady's legs. It's just a joke. But still, I did reach around her, and she acted like I fucking was about to molest her. You know what I mean? Acting like I'm just reaching around you, sweetie. I'm not gonna try to fucking rob your purse. I'm not trying to feel your left tit. You know what I mean? I'm just reaching around to get some fucking bread. You've been here for 50 fucking minutes. You've squeezed every piece of bread there is to squeeze. You know, you can't squeeze any more bread, you daft old bitch. You know what I mean? Go home, you know? Go home. Fucking ridiculous.